I'm recording this video because I just got back from 10 months on the road as a digital nomad. But when I was getting ready to do that, I watched a lot of videos on what to pack, and some of those were really helpful. And I figured I would share, since I just got back, what I packed and brought with me, and maybe that would be helpful for anyone else who is wanting to do the same, and just kind of take a look at what you might need and what you might not need. Because definitely, as I unpack my bags here, I'll show you that there are definitely some things I brought with me which I didn't need to. And at the end, I'll share a special tip, which I think is frequently overlooked but could be very helpful for some people as well. So with that, I'll just get right into it. I basically had a 2-pack system. I have my main 36-liter backpacking pack here, and then I also had a smaller 12-liter Daypack that I brought as well. And basically, this 2-pack system is pretty common. You'll definitely see a lot of people walking around their front pack on and then their backpack on as well. And I think it's a really good system because you want a big enough day pack to get around. You know, you're not always going to be wanting to bring the big pack with you, of course. And so whether it's just working in cafes or going grocery shopping or day hikes, it helps to have something like this. I believe this is the Patagonia Alt Via, and this is the Osprey Daylight Plus. But again, 36 liters, 12 liters. I will say what's nice about the 36 liters is that most international flights allow for carry-on up to 35 liters. So this one's just a little bit over, and I never had any problems with that. You know, I don't think people really, the people who work at the airports aren't really stopping you on the flights unless it's so obvious. I'll just say that this was everything that I needed for basically an indefinite amount of time of living and working on the road. So it's really not that much. And even some people who I met on the road were surprised that basically this was everything I needed, but it was. And I will also share in the description a Google Doc to my packing list. So you can use that as a framework to start and decide, how you can modify that to your exact needs. So I will say that right now, everything packed up is actually more full than it would ever be, because the clothes I'm wearing now, other than the hat, are not clothes I brought with me on the road. So all of the clothes, obviously you're going to have an outfit on at any given time. So even all of that is all packed up. So these bags are actually more full because I would walk around in jeans, in between hotels or Airbnbs or hostels. And so some of the bulkier stuff in here, there's actually more space in here than it might appear. And that's the first point I want to make too, is when you're packing for this type of travel, I think it makes a lot of sense to leave empty space in your packs, because one, you might want to pick up souvenirs or gifts for people back home, more on that later, and two, because it makes it easier to repack everything. You don't want it to be like this Tetris game where if you don't pack it exactly the right way, you can't get everything in your bag. That empty space will come in handy on the road for sure. And the other thing that's not packed in here is the shoes that I was wearing. And so these are just your typical trail runner. And I only traveled with 2 pairs of shoes. I had my trail runners, which I pretty much wore every day. And then I had a pair of shower shoes, which are just like a slide. Trail runner is good because it's kind of like somewhere between a shoe and a boot. You can wear it like an everyday sneaker. Personally, I'm not a big club guy, so it's like when I did go out, I'd still wear these. Some people like to wear nicer shoes or sneakers when they're going out, but for me, this was fine. And also, I went through Patagonia. I was doing a lot of hiking, and they worked great for that too. So with all of that preliminary covered, let's get into the actual bags. And so I'll start here with the big bag and then move on to the day pack. So here in the big bag, on the outside, I have this Hero hook, basically a type of carabiner, but with a part that swings aside. And what I use this for, I have one of these for both bags at like a bus stop or an airport. The hooks are broken off the stalls, but you can put this over the stall. And so sometimes if you had to change in the bathroom, or if you had to just like hang it up to use the bathroom, I had this set up so both of my bags I could hang over the lip of the bathroom stall and I wouldn't have to have them on me. And that was convenient and also a good way to just keep an eye on your belongings. Here on the outside, I've got my shower shoes, just some Crocs slides, and I just wrap them up in the same grocery bag, which has been with me for a long time. I mean, this has probably come all the way from Tierra del Fuego. This is what I wore in the shower, around the house, you know, in the room. It's great. This is really, really nice to have. And so here up in the brain of this backpack, I kept a pair of gloves and a beanie. The only two hats I really had is the one sun hat, the regular baseball cap, and a beanie as well for colder weather. Getting into this bag, the first thing that came out is my Ditty Bag. And so I use these Night Eyes waterproof pouches. I have a couple of these, and I really like them. Sometimes this would go in my Daypack instead of in here. There's space, there's a little bit of wiggle room in both packs. And so if I took a lot of long buses. So if I was taking like a 24-hour bus or something, while I was on the road, you know, you'd want to have like your toothbrush and some hygiene products with you. So I would just throw it in the other bag. This is interesting. This is like a little electronics bag that I kept all sorts of different things in, some cables, pens. I picked up this poncho on the way. I have another raincoat, but it kind of wetted out and I was kind of disappointed with its performance. So having this backup poncho was nice. And for power, I have a couple of different blocks in here for different style outlets. Rubber bands, an extra bag of rubber bands for wrapping up like, you know, just food bags or just keeping things organized was super helpful. I dug into this a lot more. This was something I kind of threw in at the last minute and then found to be very useful. Burner phone, I just brought an old iPhone that hadn't sold and for some reason I just kept it around. So I used this older iPhone with my whatever foreign SIM card I would get. And my real phone, I would keep that basically in airplane mode most of the time, and that would be for iMessage, for talking with friends and family back home, and then for using WhatsApp, I would keep that on my burner phone, and that's what I would walk around with. Which reminds me, the burner phone, and I kind of had the burner wallet too, so if I was ever in danger of being robbed, which really I didn't come close to, I kind of stripped everything I had with me down so there would be no problems, right? Like if somebody tried to rob me, it's like, here, take the phone. It's my old phone. Take the wallet. Because basically I have this passport card and one credit card. And then there's some local currency. And so it was like, this passport card is not really that useful. It's cool because I believe you can enter the U.S. by land from Mexico with just a passport card instead of your actual passport. Then, of course, you know, I just cancel the credit card if I had gotten robbed. And then I would just lose basically only what was on me. And then I'd come back, hopefully, you know, right? And the idea is I would have other credit cards and other IDs back home. And so if I got robbed, which never even came close to happening, I traveled all through Latin America. I didn't have any bad experiences like that. So I was ready, you know, it's just one of those things where like, you don't want to, you know, I'm the kind of person who, you know, sometimes I could be a little argumentative, but you don't want to argue with somebody who's trying to rob you. So it was better. I just set up a system where I could just give them everything I had on me and I wouldn't feel that bad about it and keep myself out of danger that way. So that's a pro tip for you. I'm gonna go over just a little bit of the clothes, but I won't go through everything. Basically, puffer jacket, micro puff, crucial for colder weather. This is just my jeans and my belt, which normally when I was moving I'd be wearing, so this is a lot less bulk that would actually be in the bag most of the time. Hiking pants, these ones are just plain black, so that I have another pair of pants to wear in the city as well that doesn't scream backpacker or tourist. I mean, probably do, but they're just a plain black pair of hiking pants. Oh yeah, this is a card game called Yo Sabo. This is actually a lot of fun. And so I was traveling through Latin America, and this game was a lot of fun to play just in like hostels and stuff. It's like a bilingual English-Spanish card game. And so this was, you know, a deck of cards, whatever, but this was fun. And I had a good time and made some good friends through that game. This was an extra pair of sunglasses in a hard case that I threw in, which I never actually used. I never lost my sunglasses. And basically my thinking was if I lost or broke my sunglasses, I wanted to have an extra pair that I already knew that I liked and were polarized with me. So I brought these, but then I never used it. So probably could have gone without it. And so I also brought this Sea to Summit. This is actually a clothesline that comes out of this bag. I used this when I was at the beach to like hang up my wetsuits and stuff. And then these are this is like laundry detergent. And so I did use this as well. So just having these laundry detergent packets and this clothesline was kind of nice to have. Now I've got this, this is basically my Ditty Bag 2.0. This is like got stuff that I didn't fit in my regular Ditty Bag, and so it's just got like extra hair ties, sunscreen. My first aid kit is in here. I have this little pill box that I made, and you can see here it's probably, I don't know how well that can be read, but it's all these different medications. And I didn't go into this too much, thankfully. I did get, you know, a little under the weather a couple of times, and so it was nice to have this. Basically, this would be for refills of the Ditty Bag. All right. Oh yeah, this is awesome. This is a quick dry towel that is like a pretty good size. This was more than enough for me, and it folds down so small for a towel especially. Like I just kind of kept it rolled up like that in my bag, and like, you know, certain hostels give you towels, certain hostels charge for a towel, which is ridiculous. Hitchhiker's Guide, you already know that a towel is the essential item and you have to have one. It comes in handy. You know, you can use this on, you guys know what a towel is. You can use it on bus rides as a blanket is what I was going to say. But this is it. This is a whole like full-size bath towel basically, and it's this small, so I loved it. This is my portable office without the laptop, and I'll just open it up for you real quick. I've got a Bluetooth keyboard, Bluetooth mouse, my laptop charger. This is a little phone stand thing that's pretty cool. I also have a lightning cable to like charge my phone while I was using my laptop. And this is really the awesome thing, the Roost stand. So basically, I'll have to cut in a photo here of what this looks like. But the laptop goes in there, so it's elevated, so it's at eye level, so you're not hunched over. And so, like I said, I was working on the road. And so for me to just lift the laptop up and have the keyboard separately was a lot better for my back, and just felt a lot better. And so I'd use this a lot, you know. Basically, I'd be happy to talk more in a separate video about how I worked part-time as a digital nomad while I was traveling. And it was really, really nice to have a kind of mobile office setup like that. Here is where I kept some important documents. So basically, this is my old expired passport. The idea is just, if my passport got lost or stolen, I'd have something with my information on it. AirTag, got one in here, one in the other bag. Just a good idea. And then these papers here are like my travel insurance documents, just backup copies. And these these little credit cards here in the scanner-proof casing are my extra credit cards and old IDs, like old driver's license, just in case, again, I lost or got robbed and I needed to access different credit cards or different ID. The Scrubba Bag. Basically, I used this. It's basically a waterproof dry bag that has this little nozzle, so you can fill it up and then through this nozzle, let the air back out and then tighten it back down. I would use it as a dirty laundry bag, and then I would sit on it to push all the air out, tie it up, and then be on my way. And this was my dirty laundry bag, but it's also got this texture on the inside, and the idea is that it's like a bucket, and you can use this to wash your clothes. And I did, I think once, but mostly I just used it as a laundry bag. I think it was a good laundry bag. I think is probably a better option out there. I don't know. For me, this worked pretty good, so I was happy with that. Also, I just carried some, these are reusable Ziplocks in a couple different sizes. And then this is just, you know, frequently I would go and get my laundry done and then they give you this plastic bag. And so I would use it as like a dry bag, or basically I just held on to them because I felt bad. And the reusable Ziplocks are great though for like snacks and for food mostly. But they're not so, like this plastic, this brand at least, would get punctured pretty easily. So they're more reusable than just like a regular plastic Ziploc. But I feel like there's opportunity in the market for a better reusable Ziploc. Getting towards the end of this bag here. One solo packing cube. It's got 2 chambers in it. It's supposed to be for like clean and dirty clothes. But basically I would keep like socks and underwear up here, and tops and shorts on the other side. I carried 8 of everything, more or less, right? Not including pants, 8 socks, 8 underwear. And then I think I had 2 pairs of shorts. Anyways, basically it was set up to do laundry once a week. And that's pretty much what I did. I also had this gallon Ziploc. This is the last thing from this bag. And this has got a rolled up dress shirt, well, 2 rolled up dress shirts, and a rolled up pair of like stretchy sort of sweatpants type for sleeping and for cold weather. Taking a look at the Daypack, first thing we notice on the outside, typical 1 liter water bottle. And on this side, I carried a pillow. And this is a Thermarest something or other. It's got the plastic bag on there, one of those laundry bags that I had, but I just put it on there just so when it's going around, since it's, you know, my pillow, it wouldn't get dust and dirt from the road on it. But then, you know, for sleeping on planes and buses and trains and stuff, it's nice. This is just like a full foam pillow, but they do have inflatable ones. I just think this is more comfortable, but it's kind of bigger too. So depending on what you want, you could probably go size down on this. In this little pocket here, sometimes I'd throw like a rain jacket or something. Mostly I just got extra napkins. In here, I would carry another one of these Night Eyes little sleeves. And in here, I've just got a hand towel, you know, quick dry, reusable hand towel. Hero hook for hanging this bag. Air tag, essential. And this little guy, which is a cutlery set, actually. It's super cool, and honestly, I didn't use it too much, but when you need it and you don't have it, you really need it. And so it's like a little fork and spoon that's got a little bit of serrated edge on it for cutting the softest of things. And yeah, it's kind of like got like this little like credit card sized case for it. This was cool. I did use this a couple of times. Not too much, but when you need a fork and knife and you're hungry and you don't have one, and then here it is, boom, it's great. It's pretty great. Oh yeah, mask. That would also typically go in that sleeve, but I took it out because I was wearing it on the plane ride back. Passport and a Ziploc and some hand sanitizer. On this little easy access side pocket, I would just throw some things kind of more quick grab. This is a tote bag, kind of packable tote bag, which I would take grocery shopping. And sometimes when I was traveling and actually these bags got kind of full, it would be because I had food with me and I didn't want to just like go to a new location and like throw out my bag of granola or whatever. And so sometimes I actually had this out with me on the bus, and I would just keep my food that I was traveling with me. And so I use this a lot, actually. This was great. This is one of my favorite little things. I got my sunglasses in here with the case on. I would carry one charger, right? And so again, this flips out and can be any type of plug that you need. This is like a regular USB plug, and then this one on the other end, this cord is from Anker. It's awesome. It can be micro USB, Lightning, or USB-C. So that was useful because I can charge everything with just this one cable. Oh yeah, this is a MagSafe wireless charging battery bank. It's not that big, but it was pretty much enough. And so I would keep this handy too for those long bus rides. Yeah, I've got this lock, right? Travel lock for hostels. You know, gotta have it. It's mostly just deterrent, right? I carried some of these little binder clips too for, you know, chip bags, whatever. It was kind of useful. Getting towards the end here, I had my laptop, essential for working on the road, obviously. This here is my Nintendo Switch, and I have to say that 10 months on the road, I probably use this as many times as I can count on one hand, maybe. Everyone's different, but basically I had the new Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom, which is a great game, but you know, when you're just traveling and there's so much to see and do every day, I just didn't find myself really having a lot of time where I just felt like reaching for it. And so I didn't really use it that much. It takes up a lot of space, heavy, you know, relative to this stuff. And I'd say this is probably something I'd leave behind in the future, just based on my experience. Oh, these are like my 3 like notebook style things. This is a Spanish vocab / notes on just things I need to write down. This came in handy. I frequently have this one on me. eReader, which I would collect stickers from all the different places, and that was kind of fun, but obviously essential. This was amazing. Like, I don't have physical books because I started the trip with a couple of physical books, and I just realized, wow, like, it takes up so much space, it's so heavy, and like, you know, you can have a whole library on here. I don't know what it is, but it's got a black and white e-ink display. It's nice, it's backlit, you can read at night, you can change the red-white balance as well, so it's easier on your eyes at night. And it was just, this is far, I hate to say it, but it's far superior than the old books. Now that I'm back home, I do like classic books as well, but man, this was really nice to have on the road. And then this is my journal, you know, moleskin journal. This is my rain / windbreaker. I mean, you got to have it, right? Because this, the puffy jacket, and then now that I'm thinking about it, I also carried a Melanzana sweatshirt. I'm gonna go grab that right now. I knew I was forgetting something, but basically this packs down. It's a nice fleece style sweatshirt and super comfortable. This is what I would wear mostly on the road too. And so with like your base layer, fleece sweatshirt, puffy jacket, shell, that would get you a long way. You know, obviously in my main bag I also got some long underwear and socks, but this all together was enough for the coldest of cold weather for the most part. Obviously, you know, it depends on where you're going, but this was more than enough for me coming from Tierra del Fuego in the tip of South America through Patagonia all the way back here to the United States. The only problem with this rain jacket is this shell is just a little bit older, and I treated it, but I got rained on at Machu Picchu, and it wetted out a lot faster than I was expecting, and that was kind of disappointing. So that's why I have the poncho as well, because you just that extra rain layer. But for the most part, this was okay for light rain, and I don't know, let me know if you guys have a good recommendation for a good breathable water repellent shell, because I'm probably gonna need to upgrade this one, but you gotta have a good rain shell, I mean, obviously. So, and then that brings us to the last item, which is another one of these Night Eyes dry bags. Got some extra AirPods in here, battery bank essential, wired headphones, lightning cable, electric fan. Whew, yeah. This was super nice to have because some places just don't have fans or AC. And then this is my other power brick. What have I got? I've got a buff and something else in here. Oh yeah, of course, my headlamp. So that's my electronics bag. The last thing, which is a nice tip, I think maybe sometimes overlooked, I don't know, you guys can tell me, is this. Basically, just to say that you can send stuff home. And so that's kind of what I did. My trip was going from Tierra del Fuego, south extreme tip of South America, and then I slowly made my way north to come back here to the US. And when I got to Colombia, yeah, I sent this from Colombia, I just realized that it was hot now and it was summer and I wasn't going to need all of this stuff, all of this cold weather gear. And so I sent a couple of things back. The beanie, the puffy, like I kept the fleece and sent the puffy back, and some souvenirs, some gifts I bought for friends and family. I just sent them back home and basically created more space in my bag and lowered my weight. That was really nice. That's just a little tip if you're traveling for different climates, could be useful. So anyways, yeah, I was on the road for about 10 months and working and living, and I didn't really feel like I was missing anything. So it's kind of crazy. It's like this was my whole life. These were all of my possessions for that time. And yeah, I was totally fine and happy, and we'll probably do something similar like this in the future. So thanks for your time and attention. Hopefully this was helpful, and let me know if you have any other questions about digital nomad life or packing or specific items. Let me know if I forgot anything. If you guys are interested, maybe I'll make some follow-up videos addressing some of these topics. So yeah, thanks again. Take care.